have you guys ever wondered if you'd make it in prison? Like we've all had that thought, right?
No,
So after this, I wonder if your thought
definitely
has
not.
changed.
Definitely not. I'd be like, oh my God, why is that guy holding his testicles? No, no, no. He's got his testicles in his hand. See, officer, kill him, bro, kill him.
Rated E for everything.
What is going on, everybody? You are back with a brand new episode of Rated E for Everything.
It's the podcast where we talk a little about a lot. It was an abrupt start. I wasn't ready.
And I am Carl.
I'm Chanel. Gosh, we haven't said our name in ages.
I feel like people forget sometimes. I do. I don't even know my own name. Like, who am I?
I don't know if
Jean-Valjean?
I ever say your name on the podcast. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like I just be saying people's names.
Yeah, you do say my name a lot.
And people I don't know, people think that that's weird. I think because I'm like, well, why? It's your name.
I don't think it's weird. I think I'm just bad at it. Like I give everyone a nickname and then I never go back.
A nickname. I mean, yeah. I also variate with you, C Money.
Yeah. But you say my name a lot. I'm trying to think. Yeah. If anything, it's usually when you say something and I'm like, Carl, you cannot. Like that's the extent.
Yeah. Carl. Only when I've done something wrong.
It's like your middle name, except your whole name.
Except
like
your government naming me, but it's just my first name.
Yeah. If I don't call you by your nickname, you are in trouble. And not just exactly. You, like everyone in my life.
Everybody else too. When you call Hannah by Hannah.
She gets so upset. She's like, what did I do? I'm like, nothing. It's your name. My bad.
Does she say the same? Does she do the same thing to you? Do you get upset when she calls you Chanel?
I don't get upset, but I'm like, what? You... Wait a second. What? Yeah, no, I don't use names. I don't know.
I don't use names.
That's like waiters come up to tables and they're like, my name is blah, 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 and I'll be serving you. And then like 3 seconds later, I'm like,
oh.
Who
remembers their waiters' names or waitresses' names though? Like, right? Like, come on. Like,
I want to start like getting really good at that and be like, no, thank you, Jonathan. And then be like, what? Like, huh?
They'll be like, oh, okay.
Be like fucking weirdo. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Too attached.
I hope you gave me a good tip because if not, this shit was not worth it.
Do not say my name like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, no intro for you. Cammy Game.
Cammy Game. I feel like it's been a little bit of a time, is what I was gonna say.
It's been
a bit of a time since we last foretold the gods about this.
Gods.
I don't know, man. The Cammy Game is a game that we made up that is now a board game, so we're no longer original. And by we, I mean Cammy made it up. So Cammy, thanks for the game that has ran through our entire 2 years of recording.
Yes, it has. Oh my God, 2 years.
Crazy. Yeah, wild. So it's a game where me and Carl say any word in the world on the count of 3, and then we have 3 additional rounds to try and then associate and match words after. One day I'll get good at explaining this.
It's never the same. It's
never
the same.
ever.
It's never the same.
Never. I don't know. I can't do it.
It's who cares, right? I mean, they get the point is gotten. Like,
if you don't understand, just wait a minute, you'll hear it.
Nobody's ever been confused, so
that they've voiced to us. They're listening and they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck is going on? Like, for what? What are you talking about? Well,
and then the fans are like, the fans that listen all the time are like, just give it a second. Hold on, you'll get it.
Just wait, there's more. Like,
yeah.
Trust me.
All right, let's do it to it.
In 3, 2, 1, coin.
Cinnamon. Cinnamon coin. I have one. I don't know if it's gonna be the same as you.
Okay, wait. I think mine's kind of pretty cool. And if we get it here, I think that you and I will like be.
Wait, I have 2 options, and one's the first that came to my head, and the other is what I think you're gonna say. Okay, just go.
All right, ready?
Oh, I'm so scared.
3, 2, 1,
Mint.
Snickerdoodle.
Damn it. No, neither. That was neither of what I was going to say.
I thought it's a circle, like a coin, and it's got cinnamon. It's a snickerdoodle.
My original, so my first thought was like sweet potato, because you know how your mom makes the coins with the cinnamon on it.
Oh yeah.
That was my very first thought. And then I said mint because
gosh.
I thought you were gonna like thinking like a mint coin, and mint and cinnamon are like flavors.
Oh god. Me with the fucking minting of things. Damn. I don't know if I'm that good. I didn't make that word association that quick in my head.
Oops. Okay, so where are
Okay.
we even? Mint and snickerdoodle?
And, what did you say?
Mint. Oh,
Mint.
fuck. I forgot what they're called. I don't know. Okay. I feel like this one won't go well.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Peppermint
Dessert.
patty. Oh,
Fuck.
we can't. That's
But
a little.
kinda.
Okay. I have. Okay.
What did you say?
Peppermint patty.
And what are you deriving from what I said now? What could be
Like a snickerdoodle is like a little circle cookie, and
Oh,
then
no.
mint.
No, I know. Like I'm like trying to piece together. Like you have a word already, and I have
Oh.
nothing. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm trying
do.
to think. Oh, dessert and peppermint patty. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. I got one.
Okay.
This is a throwback. In 3,
What?
2, 1. Macaron.
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, almost. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Dude.
I just figured we kept circling around the cookie.
Yeah,
word,
we did.
So I was like,
We did.
macaron's like a pretty cookie.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Listen to the fucking dessert tier list episode.
There you go.
I'm not even gonna talk anymore about it on the subject. Go listen to that. I don't know what episode number it is.
Flips table. I don't know
fucking-
any of the episode
No,
numbers.
me neither.
I know
I
the
don't know any
first
of them.
one. That's it.
You're funny. I could tell you probably the first 5. Maybe.
I don't think so. I couldn't. I think I know 1 and 2, and that's it.
Well, because 1 is Kokomo,
Yeah.
and then 2 is
Music. That's all
and
I
3
know.
is Star Wars.
Oh God,
Oh my
we
God,
could
I'm
probably
missing.
use like a Star Wars refresher, huh? Did we do that recently?
I don't know. I'm using Star, but I know 5 is Fantasy Dinner Party.
Oh God, that was that early?
Yes, I know, right? Yes.
I think we should do that again.
I re-listened to that episode. It's awesome. Still good. Only, you want to know the one problem with it? The quality, like the mic quality. It's so
we were
terrible.
so quiet and like
Mhm.
bad at. We upgraded a little.
And
Wow, I
we
cannot believe that was only our 5th episode.
I know.
That was a good
I
idea.
think it's 5. Now I'm actually curious because I know it's like right at the beginning. It's less than 10, which is what's
That's
really shocked
insane
me.
to me. We're
I was
almost
like,
at
we did not.
100.
I was like, we did not do that shit that fast.
Holy crap, that's so early.
5 is Fantasy Dinner Party. Yep, because 4 is Conspiracy Theories.
What?
Yeah,
Wow, that happened so fast.
because we released the first 3 like 3 weeks in a row, or like I think we released 2 the first day we premiered. I don't remember.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Then we recorded 2 together, and then we recorded 2 with Cameron, or 1 with Cameron.
Oh my God, we need to get Cameron back on the show, but he's got a child, so it's hard.
But yeah, the Fantasy Dinner Party episode holds up still. That shit is fuego. I'm like,
Holy
damn. I was
crap.
like, I had a good one. I had one good idea. This one was a good one. Like-
That was for sure a good one. Okay, so guys, today's a very exciting day. I have thrown this idea probably since our 5th episode, honestly.
I feel like since we did one of the ones where we read stories.
There's a
definitely-
scary story one, but I had the idea like way before because I was like, we could mix those together, and you were like,
Oh.
nah, let's pick one.
Oh, okay.
So it's been like brewing for a while.
So definitely at least a year then, because that was definitely last year when I was
Yeah,
in the dormitory.
I always thought I'd have to do it by myself. Like one of the times when Carl couldn't make it,
Nah. And
he threw me
Chanel
for a
said-
loop today.
Yeah. I was like, mostly because I had no ideas. So
You're like, I give up. Finally, do it.
I was like, she was like, okay, any ideas? And I was like, the topic that you've been asking for. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious.
I think I was like, there's no way. Like that, I answered like, I don't believe you or something like that. I was like,
Could
"What?"
you imagine if I had just been fucking with you?
You're like, nah, actually, no. I'm sitting here like typing, like, yes. And you're like, JK. Hopes killed. Dreams
Yeah, we're
killed.
not doing that at all.
He's actually gonna prank me in about 3 seconds and actually say we're not doing that.
So guess what, guys? She was right the whole time. You're on fucking Tosh 2.0. I have an entire episode topic planned. We're not doing this.
I would
Sorry
run
to
with it,
say.
honestly. I'd run with it.
I should do that.
We
at
haven't
some
said it
point.
yet. Okay. We're so bad at this. So
We're doing
something. So this has derived from my one twisted brain to absolute need to know why people do things the way they do, like the psychology behind it. And also I wanted to be a correctionals officer for a long time, and I probably would have, except
which
my
is
mom
crazy.
like I wanted to, like, which is stupid, but my mom convinced me not to because she said that someone would figure out where I live and murder me when they were released from prison. And I was like,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
fair.
it's a definite possibility.
That happens. Like people's families get stalked. Like that shit happens. So needless to say, I chose a different career path for my family's sake. I still think about it though. And then my career path after that was I was going to be a criminal psychologist. I like the way crazy people think, or not crazy people. I like the way not normal people think.
I feel like calling people who might be in prison who for murdering people, calling them crazy is valid. I
No,
feel like
see, it's a bad idea to call them crazy because that's how you write them off. Like people are just bad. They don't have to be crazy to be bad. They're just bad. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because if you call them crazy, you give them an out.
true.
Yeah.
True. They could just be fucked up. Yeah. 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 You're right. What the fuck? Yeah. Fuck those people. They're just evil.
Yeah. Just
Evil.
bad people. Just bad
Evil.
people. Maybe there are some crazies, but there's also just bad people. Anyways,
So
the topic is stories from prisons that are, most of them are told from correctional officers that have seen horrible or weird shit in prison during their shifts. And I printed out and typed out quite a lot of them. I don't know how many we'll get through, but the stories are from Ranker and The Chive. So thanks to them, we have all
thanks.
these twisted, awful stories that I'm about to make Carl go through.
Well, we're both going through.
I didn't read yours, so if there's any that don't turn out well, I try
Okay.
not to read them and just like cut them so that I would like
Yeah.
have genuine reactions to what you're saying to me.
Well, I've already read one, like the first line of one of them, and I'm like, oh, well, this should be fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna probably be brutal. So I guess here's your trigger warning. Here it
Here it
is.
is.
You only had
15
to
minutes
wait
into the
20
fucking episode. Here's the trigger warning.
I was gonna say you only had to wait 20 minutes to get there. I don't know.
No problem. We're not
Yeah.
going to put it at the beginning either. It's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, if you made it this far, turn back now. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Or just keep going if you got the sack. Anyway, let's scrote it up.
Let's screw it up. Go ahead, you can start.
My first story is called Resident Ghost. I don't expect people to believe me, but I know what I saw. It was about 2 a.m. I was sitting at my desk and I looked up because I saw a person walk across the range into the shower area, which is impossible because I was the only officer in there and all the inmates were locked down. Freaked me out, so I got up to make a round. There was a Native American inmate in the cell directly adjacent to the shower that I saw. He asked me if I just saw what he saw. I told him yes, and we both kind of chuckled. The ghost, or whatever you want to call it, is that of a Native American that had hung himself in the housing unit decades earlier. He tends to appear to other Native Americans when they are in the unit.
Yeah, it's gonna probably be brutal. So I guess here's your trigger warning. Here it is.
Separate incident, but same ghost also appeared to another young Native inmate who told me how this Native dude was sitting on the end of his bed one night just looking at him. I never told this inmate about the ghost.
Can you imagine being in prison and then just seeing someone sitting on the end of your bed just in
Right.
general? No matter what, that's a bad sign.
What's up?
Be like, nope.
What's popping? I'm hanging out. I'm just chilling. Not gonna say anything though. Just gonna look at you.
I would for sure think I was gonna die. Like I don't think
I
I'd
feel
ever
like
sleep
I
again.
would have like lost my mind when the Native American in the fucking like prison cell was like, hey, did you see that guy walk past here too? And I was like, I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how do you? He's like, we both chuckled about it, and you're like, no,
Yeah, like how do
no.
you just like chalk that up to like just
Oh yeah,
just
that
the Native
totally,
American spirit that haunts the fucking play.
that totally locked down prison. Whether it was a person or a spirit, like none are okay. Like that's not good.
Like, yeah, he killed himself here. He used to be an inmate, but now he just kind of roams the prison, like he makes his rounds, checks the vibe, make sure everybody's chilling,
I feel
make sure
like if you were a
all of his
ghost
Native
trapped in a
American
prison,
homies like are
I feel like,
good.
yeah, he's like, what's up? You can see me. But like I feel like if you're trapped in prison as a ghost, like it's generally like not a good vibe. Like you don't want to be trapped there for eternity. Like
Well, I mean, I guess like the nice thing is like this ghost isn't like murdering people, that he's just vibing, like he's just like,
just
I'm
chilling.
fucking stuck here, like, so I'm just gonna
Like
appear to my future homies and be like, yo, what's up? I used to be here. I killed myself, but y'all can get through
you real
it.
ones. He was probably just sitting at the end of the bed, like someone's in my bunk.
He's like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm
What the
supposed
fuck
to sleep here. The
fuck's
hell?
going on?
All
Weirdest shit
right.
ever.
So my first one is I was an officer at a medium security prison. I witnessed a fight between an MS-13 member and a blood. MS-13 is as brutal as they come. The MS-13 member knocked out the blood, then attempted to pull his eyes from their sockets. I was on the
Damn.
I was on the other side of the barbed wire fence and couldn't intervene. I had to watch as he pulled until someone else arrived, which was quick enough to save the blood's life, but I don't remember seeing the blood come back after that trip to the hospital. And he said, that's the closest I've ever been to seeing someone get murdered. If the tower officer had a clean shot, I'm sure there would have been one less MS-13 member on the planet.
Holy fuck. So he didn't kill the guy, but you said he didn't come back? What does that mean? Like, where did they put him? Like,
He said after he went to the hospital, he never came back. So I'm sure they like transferred him so he didn't
yeah. Oh my
die.
god. The eye, did you get either? I'm curious as if he got either one of his eyeballs out. Like,
God, what a brutal way to attack someone.
could you
like,
imagine, like, bro, the fucking like to be that like meticulous about wanting to kill somebody that you would try to pull their motherfucking eyeballs out of their skull? Are you serious? Like, you really want to kill someone that bad? You can't just smash their head in. You got to pull their fucking eyeballs out, huh?
yeah,
So
and they're not
unnecessary.
even like for sure gonna die then, are they?
Yeah. What if they just be blind? Exactly.
Oh, God.
You just created Daredevil, bro. What the fuck?
On either, I don't want to be on either end of that. That's how I know I'm not evil, because like the thought of like touching someone's eyeball and like squeezing
Mm-mm.
it makes me want to vomit. And then
Yeah.
like if I poke my eye, it hurts. If you're pulling on my eye, it's gonna fucking hurt really bad. I don't want it.
I mean, you know what? I feel like low key, like tearing out your eyeball might fucking do you in. Like, I feel like that would fucking rupture like that optic nerve and all that shit, and just be like,
just pull your brain out through your eye socket.
just fucking give you a goddamn ice pick lobotomy. This next one's I'm psyched for.
Oh, good.
Grisly suicide and murder.
Yum.
Yes. Worst thing I've seen is a two-way tie. Had an inmate kill himself by taking apart a razor and bending it around the end of a pen and going at the side of his neck until he passed out. Was found within 10 minutes of it happening, and there was blood all over. The other was when an inmate was murdered in a yard. He was bench pressing, and two inmates held the bar on top of him, while a third dropped a heavy dumbbell on his forehead. It dented from just above his eyebrows to his hairline in a solid 1.5 inches, and all over. But that was, and like he was twitching all over after that.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
That is brutal, and that's so premeditated. It's insane.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh God, the dumbbell thing that hurts the picture.
Nah.
Also, like going at your own neck with a razor blade like that, like after
You've
like,
gotta.
yeah,
you've
you got
gotta-
balls of steel.
You've got to be. You gotta have determination, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You really must be like, yep, I want my life to end. Like, regardless of what happens, I'm doing this shit.
But not even like a stab. Like he was sitting there, like just going at it. Like
I know. Literally, I would have been like,
doop.
right in the jugular, right in the fucking jugular. Like, why
Yeah.
would you waste that time?
I'm just like thinking about how much of a puss I am, because like a paper cut, I'm done. So
Yeah.
imagine like sawing into your neck.
Ah.
There's no way.
I don't even think I could like. Go ahead. I'm done. No.
All right, this one is disturbing evidence. I've known 2 unrelated inmates who got hold of their crime scene pictures as a part of their legal proceeding. Their kick was to call unsuspecting staff to their cell door windows and flash their dead victim pictures. One of
What?
them one of them straight up told me he enjoyed seeing the horror in our eyes as we looked at their handiwork.
Oh, nah.
This is what I'm talking
No.
about. Like people, like they're not crazy. Like they know what they got their legal proceedings so that they could have the pictures of their victims. Like they're not crazy. They know what they're doing. They're
Why
just
wouldn't, bro?
like
That's so
awful.
fucked up. Oh my god.
You're like, ha, look what I did.
Mm-mm.
Murder.
Not the murder.
Murder.
All right. Mine. NSFW and upsetting attacks. Warning, disturbing content. I worked at a county jail for 2 years, and most of the inmates were waiting to go to the penitentiary. One day, a guy entered my unit and started bragging on how he raped a girl. Oh,
Wow.
well, to find out, it was another inmate's younger sister. No shot.
Oh, do not brag about that shit.
Bro, whatever's going to happen, I don't care. This might have been deserved.
Yeah,
I
really.
remember hearing a yelling coming out of an inmate's cell during their activity time. So I called a code 4 disturbance and ran over to see what was going on. Inmate 1, the rapist, was held down by 3 other inmates, and inmate 2, the victim's brother, had his arm all the way down to his elbow up the other guy's ass. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can't say that I blame him.
After we separated them and inmate 2 was moved to administrative segregation, solitary, I finally got a chance to ask why he did that. Why he did that specifically. His response was, and I quote, "Man, that motherfucker was a mark bitch, like some Muppet ass dude. So I gave the Muppets a new character. I will never forget what I saw that day."
He said, I'm going to stick my arm so far up your ass that I can use you as a puppet. Jesus Christ.
Low key, though.
I like it for him.
Low key, though. Like, that's kind of a power move. Like, get fucked. Like, that's what you get for, like, bragging about raping somebody. First of all, I think people who, like, do that shit should die. You are not reckoned. Like, there is nothing for you in this world after that. You can't come back. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a shit.
Yeah.
You're done. Absolutely done.
And then to brag about it and then not know who's around you. Like,
y'all,
that's
like,
karma for sure.
It's like people don't know. There's like the big thing, like pedophiles and rapists like get killed in jail because, like, guess what? Like, everyone
Nobody
else
likes
hates
that.
you.
Yeah.
Everybody hates you, bro.
Yep.
Nobody wants to be your friend. You
No.
are a piece of shit. You're not even
So,
like you're
like knowing that and then going into prison and still bragging about it. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
yeah, literally. And I'm so glad that it was his younger sister or her younger brother or whatever. I'm glad that they were related. I was like, yeah, that's a karmic debt paid.
I don't
feel.
know what the brother was in for, but I hope that
Regardless.
it was like something small and he just got to like just, retribution.
I don't yeah, whatever. Go off, King.
Yeah, right. All right, this one is a little bit lengthier. It's called From Hell.
Okay.
This probably isn't my best story, but it's my favorite. Inmate hadn't showered in weeks. She smelled terrible. She was secured in housing, so her bunkie had been making complaints. After a certain amount of time, lack of hygiene is a disciplinary violation, which good on them for that.
Yeah.
She goes to confinement for a forced shower. I'm fairly new in the department at this time, so of course I get the grunt work. I have to go to her locker, retrieve her property, and inventory it for storage. She refuses to give us the lock combination, so we have to use the bolt cutters. We finally get it open, and it's filthy. She has a bag of wet, dirty clothes.
Gross.
So homeboy double gloves up at that point.
Mm-hmm.
The clothes are mildewed. He takes a bag of clothes out and finds used maxi pads all over her property.
Foul.
At the time, he said, at the time I was in complete shock, but I couldn't show it. There were roaches coming out from every edge of the locker as I pulled more stuff out. Just filthy. I finally get to her paperwork. I was sure that the worst was behind me. Nope. The first folder is full of demonic horned figures. Pages and pages and pages of them. Really, really grisly pictures. Decapitations, torture, and tons of blood. I thought that these figures were just scribbled in for color, but after I looked closely, it was officers' names written hundreds of times within these characters. Each character was an officer. Each dead figure, quote unquote dead figure, was a staff member that was no longer there. I've had inmates threaten to kill me, inmates tell me my address, my license plate number, and where I'm from. And still to this day, that creepy old woman is the scariest thing I've ever dealt with.
Oh my god. So like oh my god.
So like the figures that she drew, like instead of like coloring them in, she filled it in with an officer's name that
Yes.
had disappeared, like whether they quit or were fired or like hurt. So like some kind of weird omen.
Nah, 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 nah. That's okay.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that dude and like finding all those names and knowing they're gone, and then like
Mhm.
seeing yours next?
Bro, imagine if he had seen his next. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I was gonna be like, oh hell no, oh hell
Quit now! Quit
no,
now! Get the fuck
nah,
out!
bro, you gotta go.
It's just like right there. He's like, I've had inmates tell me my address, my license plate
Yeah,
number. Like that's the
damn. I'd
shit
be like,
that my mom was like,
shit.
no, you're not
Mm-mm,
doing that.
not I. All right, this is a quickie but a goodie. So hope you
Oh,
enjoy yourself. This will be the
oh.
most satisfying 10 seconds of your life. I work at a prison. The worst thing I've ever had happen to me when I was doing a round is an inmate in his cell stopped me and said, "Hey, CO, correctional officer, check this out." Then slit his own throat with a razor blade.
Oh my god. Check this out. Funk.
Yep.
No, that's okay.
Mm.
God. Just you would just never forget that. It would never go away.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna read another one because this one's small too.
Sure. Yeah.
One inmate told me while he was in holding after committing his first murder, he beat another inmate to death, then jerked off and ejaculated on his body in front of everyone.
Why?
What?
Why? What did it
Like,
do?
what? For what?
Why?
What did you gain? What did you gain?
See, these are the things that like make me wonder. Like most people that would have killed someone, whether they like wanted to or not, afterwards would be like kind of in a state of shock, like, oh shit, I just did something bad. Homeboy was like, nah, I'm a pleasure
I'm gonna
myself.
come on your corpse, bro. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking ejaculate on your face while you're dead. Yeah,
Yikes.
that's how badly I beat you. I beat your ass to death and then I came on your body. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with
How never mind. I was gonna say, how do you even like make that happen afterwards? But apparently they
I mean,
got
bro,
them
he must.
off.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if like he was there. What do you think he was there for a while? Like, I mean, if he did it in front of everybody, like, why didn't the people come and stop him? Like,
How quick
did he
were
just?
you? How quick
What?
would it like
Yeah, did he just like have himself
pow
in a
pow
square's
pow?
heartbeat? Like, what was the fucking deal? Like,
Oh my
because
god.
goddamn. Anyway, run it
All
up.
right. Almost like Hannibal Lecter. I worked in a lockdown for violent sex offenders for way too long. Got told
Oh,
very calmly, as soon as you're alone and there's no one to save you, I'm going to fuck you to death. What's scarier though is the really manipulative guys will listen in on you constantly and memorize any bit of personal information you let slip. Then when they want something, they'll come to you like they know you and start telling you stuff about your life, and you don't realize they've pieced it together. Also, prisoners have access to public records, so as soon as they know your name, they'll put on orders for every bit of info they can on you.
bro, nah, no, dude. So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
With CO officers, do they have names like tags? Like, because they should not. They should be numbered. They should be numbered as well. I feel like that is the safest bet.
I feel like they probably wouldn't. I like they it just seems stupid. Or if they do, it's just like a first name. I don't know.
Yeah.
The answer is I don't know. But also CO officers, just so you know, is like ATM machine.
Oh yeah, yeah. That I did do that thing. Yeah. Funny.
But I would guess it would just maybe be like first name or like a
Or
nickname
just
at
last
work.
name, like maybe just last name.
I feel
That's a
like
little bit
last
more.
name's easier to look up though.
Maybe.
I don't know. That shit's
Yeah.
scary though.
Weird. I don't know. I'd be like, give me a number, bro. I'm not even gonna fake name or something. Like,
No name
call me
tag.
John. Like,
Call me officer. Like I don't know.
call me anytime.
Don't actually. Don't ever call me.
We had these things at the prison called mini yards, pretty much fenced enclosures with a basketball hoop and a concrete floor that were attached to the galleries and separated from the main yard. At 8:15, the inmates would lock down, and then by 9, We had our count for the evening. After that count, no one was allowed to leave their cell until 4 a.m. when workers were let out of the kitchen, out to the kitchen. My first time working the night, I was working in the control center when the computer started pinging that someone had pushed the intercom button on the outside of the mini yard. This, of course, freaked me out, seeing as how I had not let anyone out there, and anyone who wanted to get in from the outside would have to climb through 3 rows of razor wire. I brought up the camera feed, hoping maybe a maintenance guy for some reason had used a key to get in from the outside. There was nothing out there. I assumed it was a computer glitch and cleared the call. It immediately rung again, still nothing on the feed. The button that was being pushed was used by the inmates to let us in the control center know that they wanted to come inside. There was also a speaker by that button that we can use to talk to them. I selected the intercom and spoke into asking who was there. No answer. I decided I should call my lieutenant. At the least, this is a serious glitch that needed to be fixed, and at the worst, it was someone who had managed to stay out on the mini yard hours after lockdown and was messing with me. So I called him and reported it, and all he said was, "Yeah, that happens. Just open the intercom and tell him that the mini yard is closed," and hung up, and then hung up. So I opened the intercom to the seemingly empty mini yard and say, "Sorry, the mini yard is closed," in the same way I would tell the actual inmates on the day shift. Lo and behold, it stops ringing in.
What? I love that
Oh,
he was so calm. He was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
that
dude,
shit
I literally
happened."
I feel uncomfortable right now. Like I feel really weird. Like reading that made me
I
gave
don't
me
like that at
ooh,
all.
oh no.
I love
I
that he
didn't.
was like, "Yeah, that shit happens. Just
That
here."
I think what scared me kind of what threw me for a loop was the fact that was like, yeah, the lieutenant was just like, yep, just
Yeah.
classic. Open the intercom and tell them it's closed. No worries.
And then it was just fine.
Yeah.
Just chilling. That's so creepy.
Weird. Do not like.
All right. The Mask. Little late to the party, but as a CO, I've seen my fair share of creepy shit. The one thing I saw that disturbed me the most was when I was working in a sex offender unit, and when I was doing my routine rounds, I went past a cell that housed a dangerous rapist. He was wearing a mask that he had made and standing in his underwear. The creepy part of this is the mask was made from a cutout from the paper of a face of a friend of mine who had just made the cheerleading squad for a local football team. When she made the team, they put a photo of her in the newspaper. Bet she didn't know it'd be used for this, and she will never know.
Oh
Oh,
nah. Well, at least he didn't know that they knew each other.
yeah, that's what I thought. Like he was gonna be like, "I
Yeah,
found your
same.
friend." Like, oh, but still, like
Oh, but still, that had to be like very you and especially he probably had to keep his cool too and be like, I don't know who that is. Like,
that wasn't really jarring and emotionally traumatizing.
yeah, seriously.
This serial, very violent rapist has my
Yeah.
friend's face on.
Great, good. This is
No,
good.
no.
This one's called "It's His Party." I noticed this inmate sitting with his legs around the toilet and hanging over the toilet bowl with something in his hand, and he was chewing on something. I just couldn't see what he was eating until I opened the food slot and smelled what was going on. Yeah, he was eating his own shit. I called my corporal down and he tried to get him to flush so he wouldn't eat anymore. As we were talking to him, he offered my corporal some and said he couldn't eat all the birthday cake.
Oh no no
After
no
we got
no
him out of the
no.
cell, he said that people were throwing a party for him and he had to eat all the cake.
See, that's when someone's lost their marbles. Homeboy's
And
just
hang on.
gone.
I'm gonna read this one too because it's 3 lines. I'm
Okay.
done. Inmate used his emergency intercom in the middle of the night and said, "I'm done." Deputies went to the cell to see what was going on. The inmate had beaten his cellmate to death.
Oh my god! And he was just like paging CO, and is like, "Click, go ahead, inmate." And he was like, "I'm done." And they're like, "Done with what?" And they just run down there, and there's a brutal murder.
Yeah.
That's so scary. That's
what?
so
I'd be
cold.
like, what? Huh?
That's so cold. Wow.
Imagine like how much you have to hate a mother living with a motherfucker to actually kill his ass.
And then like tell on yourself. Like he had to be in the for life already.
Wait. Say that again.
He had to have been in for life already.
Oh yeah.
To just be like, I finished. You can come punish me. But
I'm
at least
done.
he's gone. Like, I'm done.
I'm
Like,
done.
that's so scary. All right, this next one I actually have read. It's like very popular
Oh really?
because by very popular, I mean only popular to people that have read CO stories. So just
Okay.
me.
So just me.
It's really lengthy, but it's like strap in because it is one hell of a story.
Let me get comfy. Okay, Chanel, run this hoe.
I will run this hoe. Let me tell you the story of Johnny R. Not so much what he said or did, but all of it. Johnny R came into jail one night, ranting and raving, screaming he was cursed by the voodoo man. Not so unusual here, but Johnny R was wearing a very nice suit, and in his wallet there were signs of living a normal life. A non-expired ID, a gold Amex card in his name, and around $100 in cash. Because of his psychotic state, he went into isolation. Days went by, wouldn't make a phone call, wouldn't eat or drink, continued to constantly yell at everyone to call the voodoo man in Miami and pay him the money. Mental health and medical personnel monitored him. We even sent him out to the hospital, but none of the experts could tell us anything other than he's having a psychotic break. Antipsychotic drugs seem to have little effect except to increase his ranting.
What the fuck?
Another another week goes by. No one calls about this guy. We find out he was an executive working at a local bank. His employers told us he was a great employee. He'd been arrested for standing on a corner downtown, screaming and spitting, and when the officers tried to take him into custody to transport to a mental health facility, he fought and battered the officers.
Hmm.
He lost weight rapidly. He was a well-built, about 6'2" man, about 220 when he came in. Within the 2 weeks we had him, he was down to 160,
Damn.
down 80 pounds in 2 weeks. He was dark complected, but his skin looked gray and hung off of him. The smell, really, really the smell. You could smell him on the whole floor, and it was like nothing you've ever smelled before. Not quite decay, not quite gangrene, not quite vomit or feces, but all of that rolled together in a rolling funk that traveled extensively through the prison. With a strange edge of spiciness, kind of hot saucy.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
No idea why I remember that so well, but I've never smelled anyone like him before or since. The thing is, the few times he was semi-lucid, you could tell he was an okay guy. He'd plead with you to call to Miami and pay the man. Use his Amex card, do whatever, but he didn't have the number to the man. He said it was in his wallet. We looked but never found the number. On a Saturday morning, our watch commander got a phone call from someone claiming to be Johnny R's mother. She was excited to have found him and told the WC that they would drive to our facility tomorrow to get him. In a thick Haitian accent, she said they had paid the voodoo man and he would be okay now. Could they possibly bond him out and take him back to Miami on Sunday? So just a couple days. Mama explained what had happened prior to Johnny's arrest. On vacation from his bank job, he went back to the Miami to be with the family. While there, he wanted to get in touch with his Haitian roots. He was born in Florida, but felt a need to get in touch with where he came from. So he attended a voodoo ceremony, got scared, wanted to leave, and was cursed by the voodoo man, who said he would become a zombie if the voodoo man was not paid a certain amount of money in a specified time. Johnny didn't think much of that, and despite the warnings from his family, laughed it off and went back to work. The day the debt remained unpaid, his descent began. We worked with the judge and arresting officers to get the charges dropped as the family took him home. I went up to his isolation cell to tell him that his family was coming to get him. No smell anywhere at all. His color was completely back. He was still thin, but he was sitting on his bunk, eating lunch, and completely lucid. He was delighted and told me he knew his family was coming because he knew the man was paid. Sunday, his whole family, about 7 of them, came to the jail to get him, dressed in their church clothes. I talked with his mother, a delightful lady in a light yellow skirted suit, wearing a fabulous feathered hat. She thanked me for helping her son, and he walked out on his own in his wrinkled suit, a rope holding up his sagging pants. She told me, "You have to pay the voodoo man. He should have known that."
What the fuck? Hey, yo. Man. No. What the fuck? Like, what? You're telling me that they turned this dude into an actual zombie or something? Like, did he do it to himself? But the fact that he got that color back so quickly, like
the day of.
Yeah.
So he lost 80 pounds in 2 weeks, wouldn't eat, wouldn't make lucid calls. And then as soon as they paid that dude, back to normal. Just regular.
Okay.
Don't fuck with voodoo, guys.
Yeah, that does not fuck. That did not fuck, Chanel.
Not
fuck at all. Okay. The one thing that is truly, you know what? This is a surprise. On midnight shift, you count the inmates at 12 a.m., 3 a.m., and 5 a.m. I worked in a high-rise prison in a downtown major city in the U.S., and each floor had 2 units which were the mirror images of one another. There was one correctional officer per unit, and we would count each other's units. So at 3 a.m., count everyone was accounted for at the previous 12 a.m. count. So you end up counting pretty quickly for the 3 and 5 a.m. counts. There are normally 2 inmates to a cell, so you just shine your flashlight through the window of the cell and count the lumps in the bed. I get to just the 4th or 5th window, and I noticed one guy was not in bed and looked like he was praying, which isn't complete crazy. Muslim inmates have to pray at weird times. As I am counting 2 more, I think, wait, something was up with that praying guy. I really don't know what made me think that. And I go back to the previous cell window and flash my light, and there's this lifeless body hanging ever so slightly from a string tied up to the top bunk. He had no blood in his face, and his body was completely limp, so I knew he was dead. I hit my body alarm and had control call EMS. I woke up his cellmate who was in the top bunk and removed him from the cell. Here is the amazing part. The inmate used the string that was in his laundry bag to hang himself. He didn't even remove the string from the bag. He had tied it through a quarter size hole in the metal top bunk. The bunk is only 5 foot 5 inches tall. So picture the inmate puts the rope around his neck, but he was taller than the bunk. So he had to get in a kneeling position to begin to cut off the circulation. The thought that always sticks with me is that all he had to do is stand up to stop the process. His hands nor his feet were tied. He had such a desire to die that he just stayed in that kneeling position until he passed out and eventually asphyxiated. Note, he was only in prison for about 2 weeks and was busted for molesting many kids for many years.
Okay. Well, I almost started to feel bad, and then that.
Low-key, yeah. I feel like maybe that was like God saying, like, yep, this is your
You suffer.
retribution.
You
This
suffer.
is your retribution, brother.
You take the slow death.
And he was like, okay,
He's like,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah, my bad.
yeah, I definitely fucked that one up, didn't I?
Yeah. Ugh. Gross people. It's kind of crazy though that he was like, he's just praying, and meanwhile he was
Yeah.
dying at the
Yes,
time.
exactly.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To walk
Ugh.
back and be like, that was a weird praying stance.
Yeah, seriously. Be like, what the fuck is going on?
Like he left too, and he's like,
Yeah.
that's fine, and like to even like care to go back, that's
Exactly.
intense. All right, what the prisoner knew. Correctional officer at a county jail here, and while I'm super late, I feel like this one is fitting. A real hard ass that pretty much ran the pod came up to me one day and said, hey man, you live on E Street, right? 2 houses in from the corner? You drive that little black Chevy, don't you? I nervously stammered out a no and walked away, but he was exactly right and he knew it. He and his buddies hassled me for the rest of the shift. First time I had ever thought about buying a gun for my home.
Damn. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that.
He came up like all like, hey buddy.
Hey man. Hey,
so,
what's up?
So here's your address.
Yeah, exactly.
I know about your car and your license plate number. And
You literally read a story earlier where they were like, people come up to you and like say like, I know it was in context of like sexual predators, but regardless, like it's the same fucking thing. Like they come to you and they pretend like they know the information that they have is correct. Like what the fuck? Like
yeah.
These are criminals, like, and they know what they're doing. And they come up to you and they're like, hey, guess what? Like they just started a conversation because they figured all that shit out.
And to have to like straight face and be like, I don't know what you're
No,
talking about, man.
No, that's not me.
Yeah. You're like, fuck. We gotta move now.
Okay, and now I'm gonna add something even more detailed to correctional officers. Numbers, masks, helmets.
But then if there's like a bad CO, like you wouldn't know who it was. You know? So there's no winning there. Just have like AI. There's only acceptable
robots.
AI robots in prison. Like everywhere else, no, they'll take over the world. But prison, sure.
But then what if the program there's like some crazy like prison hacker and he like hacks the robots?
True. It would just be like another prison riot. They happen.
I guess, yeah, that's true. But what if you turn the entire facility on itself, bro? Like, wouldn't you think that you would overtake the facility?
We'll have
if you had a good enough system and you had a good enough brain. Yeah.
Backup officers then. Like on-call officers.
Yeah.
Like you get paid 80 grand to not work, but as soon as you get this call, no matter
you
where
gotta fucking go, bro. These are like hardcore ex-military motherfuckers. Like they're ready to go.
Yeah. That's my loophole. That's how it's gonna work.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I like the title of this one. The Malevolent Benefactor.
Oh, that is nice.
I worked as a deputy sheriff at Twin Towers Correctional Facility in downtown Los Angeles, famous for housing mentally ill inmates that are arrested within LA County. To say I am jaded to bizarre activities is an understatement. I once forgot that a man had removed his own testicles that day when my wife asked how was work.
Oh my God.
Many years ago, when I was on training and working on a floor that houses the cream of the crop crazies, a guy tried to commit suicide. Semi-normal occurrence, but odd method of execution. First, he covered himself in his own diarrhea, so he would be harder to
No.
grasp and fight with. Then he
No.
packed his mouth full of his own poop and started to swallow it to try to clog his throat.
No.
Finally, he found a small plastic bag. His cell was supposed to be empty, no idea how he got it, and pulled it over his head and started to choke himself out. It was working. Eventually, we had to enter his cell to save him. I ruined my uniform that day. The creepy part is this.
Oh.
Now, I don't think I had to explain to you how severely disturbed this kid was. He was unhinged, 1,000 yard stare, just crazy. After his attempt on his life, he wasn't talking. After we revived him, no CPR, thank God. We took off the bag off and he coughed everything up. He was heavily restrained and looking around at everyone with a blank stare and half grin. Like, I can't really convey how creepy it was, but you get my point. He wouldn't respond to any of our questions, didn't cry, didn't say anything. I finally asked in a last-ditch effort, where did you get the bag? And I'll never forget the way his head snapped over to me, and with the same shit-eaten grin still on his face, I had to. He looked right at me and said, why, the devil gave it to me, of course, and that was the only thing he said.
What? What? No. No,
Mm,
no. It was
damn.
just like regular crazy person, and then it was like, this got
Nah.
weird.
Yeah.
That got weird. Warning, disturbing content. Here's your
Let's go.
400th warning if you weren't disturbed already. I was working a housing unit alone one night in a county jail. I was in the control booth when I received an intercom buzz from an inmate. All he said was, you might want to come up here and see what's going on next door. I walked into the housing pod, which was dark, and could hear a faint scream coming from a cell. I told my deputy assistant to open the door, and an inmate walked out of his cell from the second floor, dripping, covered in blood, completely naked, holding something in each hand.
Nah.
Blood was dripping from the second floor tier onto the first floor. I noticed the blood was coming from his groin area, and the object he had in one hand was covered in blood, which we later found out was his testicles.
Oh my God, it's the guy from the last story.
He threatened to eat them as well, but we didn't know what he was referring to. I had nightmares for weeks. So homeboy just chopped off his nuts and had one in each hand and walked out and was like, I got these for you.
These are for you.
Here.
For you.
And the neighbor casually buzzed the CO and was like, you might want to like check this because something weird's happening.
You're gonna need to come. You wouldn't fucking believe me if I told you.
Like, I don't want to get involved, but like you should probably be here. I
you
don't
should
know.
definitely come take a look at this shit.
Oh God, it's so messed up.
I was escorting a nurse down a row. The nurse carries a food slot bar, which is basically a piece of rebar used to open up the food hatch on the cell gate. As she opened one of the food slots, the offender decided to place his Piggly Wiggly on the tray. The nurse immediately reared back and slammed his junk with the food slot bar, which caused blood to spew everywhere. He was hospitalized.
Oh my God.
Nah.
I mean, he kind of deserved it for sticking his dick out to this poor lady.
Low-key, yeah. Low-key,
But
yeah.
also, I love that her
Damn.
first instinct was like, I don't know what's coming through this hole, but I don't like it. Stab. Like,
Done. It's over.
like it. And then she's probably like, now I gotta go clean this off.
She's like, God damn it, and I'm a nurse.
Yeah, she's like, I'm probably gonna have to be the one that fixes this. Like, damn it. Oh, that's brutal. All right, so the next ones we have are a bit shorter. They're from
that was
the Chive. Oh, that was one of your short ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have slightly shorter ones, so we're just gonna shoot them back and forth, all these fun things.
Let's do it. Go ahead, Seashell.
All right, there was this older inmate, and while he was out working food service, a group of like 5 rival gang inmates robbed his cell blind. He found this out and went around telling everyone he was going to kill these dudes that robbed him. He went back to his cell, and the 5 dudes rushed him. He was ready, though. The second the leader, quote unquote, of those dudes hit the door frame, the old guy threw a boiling cup of baby oil, magic shave, and battery acid on them. And the CO just says, the smell, my fucking God, burnt people do not smell nice.
Damn, but good on the old guy, though.
He's ready to go.
Go off.
He's
Go off.
going for blood.
Go off. There was a prisoner who would put staples in his skin and just under his skin. One day he had an infection and was taken to the emergency room where they removed several thousand staples from his body.
Several thousand?
Several thousand.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Just
Nah,
just chilling right under the
just chilling.
surface.
Or just
Where
in
did-
it, like
where-
in and
where-
under. He said,
Where did he get the staples?
I don't know, thousands of them apparently. Jesus.
That's crazy. I had a homemade blow dart covered in feces and urine shot at me, but my puncture-proof thrust vest caught it, thankfully. The whole incident happened because I told him I wasn't going to allow him to go outside to the rec yard, and that was from Bossman RC. Yeah, it's gonna probably be brutal, so I guess here's your trigger warning. Here it
Here it
is.
is. Oh, neither one of the first two I read had names. Okay, this one does though. Every 15 minutes, you have to walk around and look in all the cells. In 15-minute increments, I watched a dude make a toilet paper and blanket representation of his cellmate, then proceeded to fuck it senseless while the cellmate tried not to watch.
Oh
He
my
named
God.
it Fifi
No.
by Scapity.
That poor cellmate. Just
Imagine being like, come on, man, don't do this
please,
shit right now. Please
please.
stop fucking me. It's not even me, but please.
Honestly, at that point though, I'd be like, you know what? The blankets are fine. You take them, not me. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
One of my friends once was walking past an inmate cell. The guy looked at my friend while he had his cock out and said, "This thing has brought me nothing but trouble." At which point, he pulled out a shank, sliced his penis clean off, and threw it at my friend's face. Just
Not the face, bro. Not the face. Imagine getting hit in the face with a chopped off penis.
severed
I'd be
dick.
like, I'm done.
A
I'd be like, I would have killed that guy. I would have finished him off. I would have been like, but you're fucking, your life is over. You don't have to worry about your penis missing. Your fucking life is gonna be missing, homeboy. Fucking no, absolutely not.
The worst part of it, honestly, like the whole thought of it, like the worst part is the sound. Like a bloody penis just like right across the jaw, man.
Ah,
It's not funny at all. It's actually so messed up.
that's so
but, like,
fucked up.
That's so bad. Again, the pure like confidence that you're going through with it to have to just slice your dick off.
Seriously.
Nope.
Also, like it would sound like a cock slap, but it would be worse because then it would be, and then it would hit the floor.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear
it
that
again.
noise. And then you'd be like, what the fuck?
And then chances are you'd probably have to clean it up.
Yeah.
And that was from a
Oof.
DSO990.
A buddy of mine is a guard at a women's prison. He once had to confiscate a Jolly Rancher sex toy. These craft women collected Jolly Ranchers and molded a rainbow colored shaft. They wrapped it in saran wrap from the kitchen and passed it around. Pog. That's fucking awesome.
I mean,
That's
good for
sweet.
you.
Why would you take that?
As far as these stories go, that was like, oh, okay.
And
Like,
that was from God Deal. Yeah, God deal me. Yeah, God deal me. Yeah, that's
God.
what
I
I'm
mean,
going with.
you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's the fucking.
I love that they shared
mindset.
it. They were like, "Yo, Rainbow Dick, you get it this week. Like, that one's for you."
Oh, I'm feeling kind of horny. Do you mind if I get that shit for 30 minutes extra?
I just wonder, like, wouldn't it melt? Like, well, I guess the saran wrap would get all the
We're done.
sticky. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Eater of Dog, which I don't trust that username for the life of me, said 2 prisoners were trying to kill a 3rd prisoner. The shank broke, so they put a pen in his ear and stomped on it. It came out of his mouth. He lived.
Damn. First of all, for the guy who was getting attacked, like, goddamn, the fact that you lived, go off. But shit, like, what kind of life is that gonna be, though, bruh? Goddamn.
Yeah. You definitely can't hear.
You definitely can't fucking hear.
It had to pierce something to go through your throat.
Yeah, so that can't
out your
be fucking-
mouth.
That can't be good either.
Oh
No.
God, the immense amount of pain that had to be. Ugh. I don't like Q-tips, much less a pen through my skull. It's like the Joker trick when he like there's a pencil and he's like,
Yeah.
watch it disappear.
Gone. It's
Yeah.
done.
I have one more. How many do you
Oh,
have?
I have 3.
Okay, read 2.
There was this one prisoner who would constantly cover himself in his own feces. He didn't stop there, as he would hang himself, still covered in shit. When inmates hang themselves, guards have to try and save them, so the guard who held him up would be covered in shit.
He just
Pop-Tart
did this
Island.
like Pop-Tart Island. He just did this like recurringly.
I
Like
guess so. Like he just like would continue to try and kill himself.
I guess
All right.
there's like no better way to torture. Like they have to try and save you, so that sucks.
One guy was trying to strong arm another into holding drugs for him. The second guy refused, and a fight ensued. The second guy pulls out a broken pair of scissors, which he had concealed, and stabbed the guy 33 times. There was blood
33.
everywhere in that little building. Miraculously, the guy survived.
Oh my god. Again, these people are amazing. You got stabbed 33 times. Your blood was in the entire building, and you just walked it off.
Go ahead.
An inmate in segregation got very upset that he didn't get some paper a CO promised to get him. Fucker ripped off his own big toenail and cut up his arm with it.
What the fuck? No.
That makes me want to vomit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That was a hard one for me to. I have a thing about nails. I don't
that's
like
right.
it.
Yeah, you do.
That like a little vomit came up in my throat. So, that's from Didgeridoo, not
Oh, the
Didgeridoo.
last one was from Kazliu.
These names are great because it's like he cut off his own testicles. Island of Pop-Tarts. Like just chilling.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
Aces. My last one.
All right.
Inmates in a level 5-yard bunk up to a cell. One inmate decided to pledge himself to his cellie for life by allowing him to cut his testicles out with a repurposed safety razor blade. Much blood, 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Palinark.
What? Like there is no more of being like someone's bitch than handing over your testicles to them.
No, literally. Like you just me like goddamn, bro. Come on. It's not. You don't have to be down bad like that. You can stand on your own 2 feet, homie.
That is.
Imagine
rough.
getting your fucking testicles cut out.
No,
cannot. It's done. I puking now. I puking.
I puking.
I make the puking. No, not okay. Man. God.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I had such a good time. I'm glad that I agreed that we should do this. And it was my idea, even though it was your idea. But I suggested it. So
now this is on you.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In reality, I don't know. It was good. I hope you guys liked it.
Like, have you guys ever wondered if you'd make it in prison? Like, we've all had that thought, right?
No.
So after this, I wonder if your thought has changed.
Definitely not. I'd be like, oh my God, why is that guy holding his testicles? No. He got his testicles in his hand. CO officer, kill him, bro. Kill him. Do something. Kill his ass. God, what the fuck?
Kill him. I'd be like, Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
Like, close my door, bro. Close the cell door. Get this fucking guy's ass away from me.
There's no way. I always like I talk mad game. Like I'd be like, if I went to prison, I wouldn't speak for the first year so that like everyone would think I was just like hard as shit, right? And like don't mess with that one. She's fucking psycho. She doesn't even talk. And then like I read stuff like this and I'd be like, oh my God, did you guys see that? Did you see it? I saw that. I didn't want to see it. But past the Jolly Rancher dildo. The face. You gonna vomit right now?
I'm unwell.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this fucked up episode of ours because, you know, every like few ones we got to throw something really fucked at you just because that's the way that we roll.
Keep you on your toes. Dark and gritty. We always do like fun, hilarious, or nerdy. And then once in a while we sprinkle in like nightmares.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Yes,
and just to ease your mind after that horrible thing, I'm going to read you my Snapple fact before we go. Children have more taste buds than adults. And honestly, after everything we just read, like taste buds sound like an awful thing right now. I don't want them. No,
seriously. Nope. No. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great sadness that I bid you adieu for this week of Rated E for Everything. I hope that you all enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check us out on those social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Rated E Pod. Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Lofty Boy of Long Plows. I'll make sure to plow you next time on Rated E for
Wow.
Everything.
What a promise.
Have a fantastic one. Lastly, before we go, not just me, it's just me now.
I'm
It's
staying.
just me. Fuck Chanel.
I'm
Before
staying the
I
whole
go,
time.
you will all see that on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, we have a brand new fucking logo. Let's go. So thank you, Yasmin, for creating that for us. You are a legend. We love and appreciate you so much. Guys, make sure to
much.
go check out the episode with her. And also go check her out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And I'm pretty sure she does Twitch sometimes too, the art stuff, like all kinds of stuff. All of her information. Yasmina Bed Art. So make sure to check her out because she is bellissimo. Chef's kiss. Fantastic.
Amazing. Wonderful.
Love her.
Gorgeous.
So and I hope you guys like the new logo because it's tight as fuck.
I
Not
love
gonna
it
lie.
so
It's
much.
tight as
I'm
shit.
super excited about it.
It's dope as fuck.
Thank you for sprinkling some color into our black and white lives.
Seriously. No, seriously. It's about time we had a change. 2 years
Yeah.
of black and white. And now we're finally opening up our eyes to the rest of the world.
Ta-da!
It took
Here
2
we
years,
are.
but we finally got there
Rated E came out today.
today.
Also, I love you so much. Happy Elizabeth Olsen's birthday. Okay. Have a good one. We love you. Bye.
Bye.